All right, let's see what's going on. I guess we on. I hope you guys can hear me. Hey, what's going on, party people? Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. It's definitely a great pleasure to have you here. I go by the name of Lespri. I am a spiritual healer. And essentially, as a spiritual healer, what I do pretty much, guys, is that I help people to become mentally and emotionally balanced. And the whole idea, you know, behind helping you to become mentally and emotionally balanced is just so that you can attain your highest level of self consciousness, or your highest level of consciousness, or you become the enlightened one, or you become the Christ like, the Buddha like, the Krishna like, and all that. And just so you guys know, when I'm referring to, let's just say, I mean, what you see when you're looking at, let's just say, someone like Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, or whoever else you may choose, is that those people, right? They represent a a certain level of enlightenment, and that level of enlightenment, that's what we call the enlightened one. Just like the name Buddha means to wake up. Again, you waking up, more consciousness. That's exactly what it means. So therefore, because a lot of people have the misconception, or they get stuck into just the image, but not understanding that that image, that's what it represents. It represents that highest level of consciousness. So therefore, that's why Jesus wants you to be like him. You see what I'm saying? It's not a secret. Ultimately you want to become like him. And besides, why the fuck not? Because that's the highest level of consciousness. That's the closest you'll get to God, and why not? So I just wanted to make sure I get that out of the way so you understand what it's like to attain that highest level of consciousness. Now, the reason why it's important for you to actually become mentally and emotionally balanced, because if you are, let's just say, mentally balanced but you're not emotionally balanced, well, guess what? At this point you become very rigid. If you're suppressing your emotions, you're not whole. So therefore, if you become rigid, you become straight to the point, you're missing out on the small things. And that's what the emotions does. That's why emotions open up your eyes a little bit. Instead of just stepping on somebody's toes, well, how about the way they may feel? Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, yes, I could get it all by myself, but I mean, it doesn't hurt to share. You see what I'm saying? So now, and when you start seeing it that way, it open up your consciousness, and vice versa. Now, if you're depressed, you're not gonna have the best state of consciousness. You're not gonna see things clearly. In fact, your emotions does have a direct impact on your intellect. So it's important for both of them to come together. Now, when I'm talking about, let's just say, mentally balanced, to be mentally balanced, I mean, what I'm talking about here is that you have to understand how your minds work. You have to understand how you are being conditioned to think. But ultimately, what you're doing by understanding these different things, it's you becoming more aware. So for you to be mentally balanced, like someone else cannot control your mind, and now you're claiming to be or to have self mastery. It doesn't work. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. That's why you have to understand your culture, all of these political, whatever the fuck you are encountering, because all of these things are shaping your mind. You going to school, there's a certain way you are trained to think. Now it's your business for you. Are you being trained for you to think your way, or are you being trained to think other people's way? So when I'm talking about mentally balanced, it's becoming more self-conscious, more aware of your intellect, how it's being shaped, and some of the impact that other things may have on your intellect. Now, in addition to that, you know what I'm saying, and it's pretty much the same baseline understanding when I'm talking about being emotionally balanced. It's the same thing. You would need to understand how your emotions work, what your emotions are, and understand your own emotional pattern and being able to identify them as well. Because we all know, let's just say when you go see a shrink, right? I mean, some of the things that they're talking about, they're pretty much trying to find that wounded child, meaning those early emotions that may shape you to be a certain way. I mean, if you were bit by a dog at a certain age, then your intellect is gonna, then you're gonna create environments where, if there's a dog, you probably don't want to get there, or you probably wouldn't want to be there. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's important for you to understand that, because ultimately, what you're doing by identifying those early emotions that got you to act a certain way is just so that now you have more control over yourself. So this whole thing is about self mastery or attaining your highest level of consciousness. That's why if you understand this, then in so many words, I just told you exactly what spirituality is, which I'll be talking about a little bit more. But the bottom line of what I'm trying to say here is that then you get to see your essence. Because when I'll talk about that shortly, but I'll fuck it. I guess I'll say it now. When you're talking about spirituality, it's truly your essence. So, in a nutshell, that's pretty much what I do. Now, if you're coming back, you already know it's nothing but love. It's good to have you back here. And you know what we do here, man? We break bread, each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? It's love. That's all the shit is. Let's have our supper. Hopefully, it's not gonna last, but every single one of them is gonna be the last one too, though. Not the last in terms of, there's not gonna be another one, but the last one in terms of, it was a good one. It's going to last. But anyway, welcome back. It's definitely a pleasure to have you here. So now, as part of my routine, guys, I always take the time to talk about spirituality. And the reason why I do that, well, there's two reasons why I do it. The first one is, well, everything that I'll be speaking about tonight derives out of spirituality, meaning it derives out of, let's just say, having a deeper understanding of us, because that's what spirituality is. I mean, is your essence. But then we also have the occult now that has those manuals, those sacred texts, now that allows you, that gives you that wisdom for you to see things a little bit better, or to have a better understanding of who you are. Because ultimately, that is the name of the game. You are here to remember, to reconnect, to become a member again, to know who you are. And that's why spirituality is pretty much is your life. Now, one of the main reason why a lot of people don't really see spirituality in their lives is because of the way we've been trained to think or to look at ourselves. Most people will look at ourselves, as dick and pussy, just the way I like to say it. And what that pretty much entails is that you only look at yourself from a physical perspective. Pretty much stop at your senses. And we all know, like, there's a lot more to us than what we appear to be. And the Indians, they call this realm that we are living in, or this world that we in, they call it Maya, which means it's a world of illusion. Now, to have a good understanding of what illusion is, it simply means it's not what it appears to be. Or what it appears to be, there's a lot more to it that you don't know. That's why when you see a magician performing a magic trick, It is an illusion because there's a lot more to what he's doing. Now you see it, but it's not what it appears to be. Get out of here. When you start to examine our lives, there's a lot more to what it appears to be. Even let's just say you're going to have just a simple relationship with you and somebody else. Well, it's never that simple because whoever you're going to deal with, you're going to be with. Now you're dealing with another spirit, meaning with another living mind, with another energy. Also, it also means that they have a certain way that they were trained to think. They have their own shit that they have to work out. So, so technically, when you're dealing with somebody, that's why they would tell you you're also dating their mom and their dad. Not literally, but in a sense, literally as well, because based on what they were instructed, as a person. So even to look at it that way too, then you realize that information is our essence. That's why you want to change your life, well, change your thoughts. So as you delving more into you, then you realize you are a lot more than what you appear to be. And that's what this illusion is all about. But most importantly, that's why when you know your essence, you know the truth, it sets you free. It sets you free from bondage, from let's just say material bondage. You're not suppressing it. You just got to know yourself better, and that's how you automatically transcend this reality. Because I got to know myself. I have self confidence. I know who I am. I look at myself as spirit. Like I don't care about how much money you have. Now, that doesn't mean personally I don't care about money. It has nothing to do with that. But I understand that money is secondary or success, fame, anything that you guys, embrace first, it's never first. It's a fucking illusion. You have people that have a lot of money who are killing themselves. Why the fuck is that? You see what I'm saying? And your true success too. Like people may look at you. That's why a lot of these people, you see like they do a lot of cocaine. There's a whole bunch of shit going on that you may not know about. And even Biggie told you that too. More money, more problems. Now you may choose to argue that. I get it.